Hello, good morning. Welcome to the meditation live stream. This is Scott. I hope that you're doing well. Today I woke up early with sinus pain, so I've been up very, very early today. And so I try to take advantage of times where, things are beyond my control, or there's things that cause me suffering or pain, as, the case may be. And after, spending time with my pain, it sort of began to loosen and open up. And I did some research, and I'd like to share that with you. But before I do, let me explain my channel. So we have a body, emotion, mind, and relationships. And we need a mindfulness that encompasses these dimensions of our being and helps evolve these dimensions of our being, or grow them, or develop them. And we have, fortunately, pioneers in this method, and I'm one of them, so you're in the right place. And the technology of awakening has always been with us, probably since the dawn of time. But we need kind of like an update, much like your devices update. We need to update our approach to meditation to allow for the way in which we are connected today and the speed of which we are connected, as well as things being brought to light which are uncomfortable. So that's sort of the overview of my channel, so welcome. And so I wanted to share this research I had done this morning after my sinus pain alleviated, which is around consciousness. And I often talk here on my channel about awareness, and I was just trying to see what is out there in terms of resources for understanding the difference between awareness and consciousness. But what I came across was actually more interesting than that, which was that in order to study sort of like people being able to have a brain that is able to perceive, there's a lot of research done on anesthesia. And if you think about it, it makes sense. You have an anesthetic, you go unconscious, you're out. And what they do is they study the brain in the state of anesthesia in comparison to a brain that is quote-unquote awake, right? And what you have is something very interesting, which is there's a feedback loop. So your brain has sort of like a forward feedback loop. And when you are having a normal awake brain, there's two aspects of that. Your brain kind of forwardly perceives, and then there's a feedback of sort of like a recognition of that feedback loop. But when you are under an anesthesia, that is interrupted, and you just have sort of the forward loop, and that's it. There's no feedback after that, or a recursive loop. And it really got me starting to think about human to human feedback loops, and sort of like an extended brain, sort of like extended mind. We often have ideas that seem to come to people simultaneously on different parts of the globe, and the question is, how do they both reach those understandings around the same time? And it's like this idea that ideas, or this concept that ideas are somehow caught by minds, and that they're independent of minds and somehow floating. And my understanding, like being inspired by this idea of anesthesia, is that I think we together, when we have relationships, form an additional feedback loop. And when that happens, sort of the we space, as it were, collectively forms like a permeable boundary between these minds. And in that way, there's yet another form of awareness that develops between people, which is part of their relationships. And this happens so often that I think people just don't ever notice that. So, I've finished a book. I've been reading a book that I've given to a friend on the awakening of the we space. So I'm in kind of like a research phase for a new book to read from. So that'll happen soon. But so because of that, let's start to practice now. And we'll begin gently closing our eyes and tuning inside. And we'll begin with some deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And getting into kind of the movement and the feeling of the breath in and out. And really letting go on the out-breath, letting go of that which no longer serves you, letting go of resistance, and letting go of distress, tension, just letting it melt away from you, sort of like when a dog drops a ball from its mouth, just dropping it. Very good, and allowing your breath to reach all the way down into your pelvic floor, to your legs, all the way down to your feet. Very good. We'll do 3 more. Great. And allowing your breath now to return to your usual way of breathing. And gently placing your attention on your physical body, beginning to become aware of your body sensations. You can notice your body's temperature, subtle movement, tingling and pulsing, a sense of aliveness and presence. And you can feel your body's connection to the earth, a kind of like plugging in feeling to the planet. Very good. And then we can begin together the practice of feeling and softening. On the in-breath, feeling your body. Then on the out-breath, softening and melting down through your body like warm honey, deep into the earth. And everywhere that the honey touches is cleansed, healed, purified, and made whole as it travels down through you, collecting sort of stale or dysfunctional energy and bringing that down into the earth, where the earth receives that energy and transforms and recycles it. And with each cycle of breath, you get a little bit closer to your body and then melt just a little bit deeper into the earth. And you can kind of enjoy the sense of settling and quiet feeling developing inside you. Very good. And then bringing your attention up now into your heart space. You can imagine as though you're breathing directly in and out of your heart. And on the in-breath, feeling your heart. Then on the out-breath, softening and expanding your heart. One of the great things about our hearts is that whenever we kind of move into our heart space, there's always a sense of warmth and tenderness there. And in a deep way, heaven and earth meet together in our hearts. coming in contact with your emotions, you can notice what's present for you emotionally right now. And without pushing or pulling on your emotions, just allowing yourself to notice what's present for you and feeling just a little bit. As part of good emotional hygiene, human beings are meant to feel things together in a safe way. Nobody's meant to feel things alone. And you could be feeling any of the 5 main cardinal emotions, like points on a compass giving your life direction. You could be feeling anger, sadness, fear, joy, or shame. You could also be feeling numb, which is another valid emotional experience. Just noticing what it's like for you right now. We'll just spend a little more time in our hearts together. So on the in-breath, feeling your heart. And then on the out-breath, softening and expanding your heart. Just kind of really riding the softening and the expanding out and the return back. Sort of forming like an infinity between your heart, the divine, back and forth like a wave, like a heart wave together. Beautiful work. And then now gently bringing your attention up into your head and feeling your head on the in-breath. Then on the out-breath, softening in and around your skull. You can, if you like, breathe into your third eye space between your eyebrows or your crown, the top of your head, whichever feels correct for you. And just feeling and softening in and around your head. contact with your thoughts, you can notice how busy or active your mind is. And without pushing or pulling on your thoughts, trying to get rid of your thoughts, just allowing them to come and go. And if you notice that you're actively thinking, you can always return, coming back to feeling your body, feeling your body's connection to the earth, for grounding and for anchoring. Very good. And then before we move on to the next technique, we'll practice something called tree breath, which is a favorite of my brother's. So like a tree, you're like a tree and your body is a tree. And you use your imagination for this exercise. So you pretend that your body's a tree. The bottom half of your body is sort of like roots that extend deep to the earth. And then the middle part of your body is like a trunk, and it goes all the way up to the top of your head, which is like those branches and leaves of your tree. And so you practice breathing up your body on the in-breath, and then back down your body on the out-breath. And so it's a matter of feeling as you breathe up, feeling up your body, and then on the out-breath, feeling back down your body. You can imagine sort of like pulling nutrients up from the earth into your body and then flowing back down through your body back into the earth. Envision sort of the river of energy moving up and down your body through your central channel, the central channel of light that travels along near your spine, connecting heaven and earth. Very good. And then from here we can practice with our eyes open. So gently opening your eyes, keeping your eyes soft. We can take a moment together to appreciate the work we did with our eyes closed. And we'll begin now to practice in the relational space, the space of outside and inside. So on the in-breath, feeling around you, the space outside you. And then on the out-breath, feeling the space inside you. And just noticing the difference, feeling outside on the in-breath, and then back inside on the out-breath. Right, and then from here, if you like, you can add in qualities to your practice. So on the in-breath, you can feel the qualities of love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness, sort of emanating out of you, like a sun or a moon radiating out of you on the in-breath. And then on the out-breath, feeling love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness towards yourself. Just feeling sort of like absorbing those qualities like a sponge into your being. And just practice sending and receiving those qualities. attention kind of creeps back in, you can practice what we were doing earlier, like feeling and softening. It's a very useful technique, especially in times of distress or overwhelm. And we'll just practice with the qualities a little more. You can pick one or two, just practicing sending and receiving love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness. Very good. And then from here we can set our prayers and our intentions for the day. I'll be quiet so you can do yours first. May this work that we do transform our life, offering up healing and blessings, and ripple out into the community, transforming our culture and our systems. Amen. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome Sunday. And I'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to start at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I know it's early, but that's the way I am. And you're, of course, free to join me at any time. And I'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.